I've been slacking a little bit today, but I was like doing random shit around the house. All right, so we'll stop and we'll do a quick read, and then we were going to pretty much get back to it with the cleaning that I'm doing. And we'll stop and check the energy real quick. Atlantis. Fuck. Marketing and meow. Some of you guys are just very attractive at this time. You're very good looking. Atlantis is coming up, so that's mermaid energy. What are you talking about, Jeeves? Are you over there freaking out, Hazel? What the fuck? Well, whatever. All right. Well, that's not gonna work. Okay. Well, whatever then. What the heck? Okay. I like get really weird about paper. All right. Best friends in the reverse. Be aware of your surroundings in the reverse. Yeah, somebody had a friend screw over. That did come up a lot this week. That some of you guys' baby mama or your baby daddy slept with your best friend or your sibling. So you guys might want to check the phone and look at that. I don't really like to have to say like, oh, check the phone to look at that, but it is true. You need to check the fucking phone to look at that. There's always somebody that's got to be messing around doing something stupid. So just always be aware of your surroundings. Spiritual connection, confused and defeated. Somebody's person might feel as though they felt like they did it because they have a spiritual connection with that person. And you might even feel like you want to move forward with somebody else because you feel as though you have a spiritual connection with somebody. Let's see if it's really a spiritual connection. It says listen closely. You have a very crystal clear intuition, and it says that it's an evil earth sign possibly for some of you guys that you're dealing with. Some of you guys could be an earth sign. See why the cards are saying that it's coming up as an evil person. Actually, I need that. You've changed in a good way. Eliminate toxic coworkers and watch out for a fire sign. So a fire sign with a Taurus, honestly, might get along quite well. So you guys might be just butting heads because you're both very detail oriented and you're both very picky. And some of you guys are actually not really fighting because you're not getting along. It's because you're just both very over controlling. You might be overbearing just a lot for each other. I know as individuals dealing with a fire sign and an earth sign, it can be a lot. I'm a water sign, so both fire and earth, especially Taurus and Leo, they get very, very, very controlling with respect. They like things to be done the way that they want it to be done. So some of you guys could be just bonking heads because you could possibly be an earth sign and a fire sign trying to date. That's two controlling people in the same room. It's very difficult for you guys to compromise. You might feel like it sometimes. Some of you guys have a toxic coworker who is starting problems at work, and they need to be actually eliminated. They need to be fired. So if you're a leader in any positions, you know who this is, and you do need to get rid of them. This person's going to continue to cause problems. And actually, I wrote those cards, ironically, over Evil Taurus. That's where that Evil Taurus card came from, and so did this Eliminate Toxic Coworker card. Both of those came from that same person. So, kind of random to be able to draw both of those cards right out of the same spot. So, you definitely know who this person is. This person's been starting problems with you for quite some time. You either take your power back and show them what's up, or they will continue to actually take you down. And they're not trying. They're actually like literally they're literally trying to take you down. It's not a joke. So if you don't stand your ground, this person is going to weaken you and weaken you and weaken you. And they're going to literally take you out because you're not paying attention to your surroundings. Some of you also think this person is a real friend to you. They are not. This could even be somebody that you're dating for some of you. This could be your own child. There's pretty much been everything that you can possibly think of as far as options go. And nothing's been held back. Doesn't matter who the fuck it's been this year. It's been literally every type of person possible. From kids to lovers to coworkers to bosses to everything. So do be prepared for whoever it is in your life that you discover could be fucking you over. It's going to be somebody that you would not expect it to do that, and they're going to be somebody that is very close to you. It's going to hurt to let them go. But just know that everybody else in the group has had to do that with several people, and it just might be one of you guys' turns if you have not. It's better that way anyway, because you're not going to be able to take these people with you where you're going anyway. So to be able to just look at it like you're not like, it's not like you're like having to cut them out of your life or anything, but you're moving forward with your life at this time. And the way I look at it that helps me without feeling bad about what I'm doing is I just look at it like people that go through school, they graduate, and the ones that don't do their work, they don't. And that's pretty much where it's at with some people. They didn't do their work. And they're not going with you where you're going now. So that's just what it is. They are welcome to join you at a different time. Only if in the event you literally fail and don't fucking keep moving forward. But at this time, they're officially behind you and where you're at. That's not your fault. You don't have to feel bad about anything about your forward movement. These people, you should not step your game down because they don't want to pick up their own slack. Yeah, I know a lot of people that wanted to do that. Sit there and fucking play games, Sit there and actually fucking literally just pretty much be dead ass weight on you. Try to hold you back. Try to make you feel a lot of guilt, shame, all this other crap. Because what? They literally didn't do the work. That's just how it is at the end of the day. That's what they do. And then they will. Even my own baby daddy legit tried to literally make it to where if he didn't get the kids, you know, at the end of the day, he was like legit trying to make it to where I didn't get the kids. For example, we were not supposed to be hanging out. Of course, I still hung out with them. I loved them. I ended up snitching myself off to the treatment center because I got scared of it. But one day he was back around again, 9 months after I'd gotten clean, and he wanted to hang out and blah blah. We fucking do, and I ended up catching him being a bad person, blah blah blah, and I kicked him out of the apartment. And the little shit fucking wrote a note and actually tried to stick it in our my landlord's door at the time. And he was actually trying to tell her straight up that he had been over there staying the night, and that was his vehicle outside, and that I should have been basically getting in trouble for that. He didn't care, you know, what would have happened to Ayla. He just wanted to make sure that he didn't please all by himself. So some of you guys are doing something like that. And at the end of the day, these people that act like that are fucking stupid. There is nothing more fucking important than whatever the fuck you're working on. And if they want to be that fucking rude and disrespectful, that they would put you in a situation to lose because they don't want to try, that's all you need to know, bro. That's a big statement right there. Are you willing to lose everything that you've been working hard for? Because that's what these people will do. They don't give a fuck. They're just not going to lose by themselves. That's what this energy is here. You do need to listen closely. Someone that you're dealing with, honestly, has their own whole thing that they do 24/7. And you catch them all the time. You catch them bullshitting you. You catch them fucking just not making sense. Some of you fucking, their schedule is always changing. They cannot seem fucking have their story ever fucking consistent, dude. And you know, you just feel like it's beating you up. You're feeling like a little bit of a B word. You know, you're feeling like this person treats you like one, they talk to you like one, they act like one, and you feel like one with them because you don't ever get a straight answer from them for some of you. They see that you've changed in a good way, and that makes them want to bring you back to where the fuck you were always with them, which is not a good place, guys. When they approach you smiling, when they approach you at all, it's because they see something in you that they find attractive. But you forget who you are, and you see this person coming your way, and you just go weak in the knees for some of you, knowing what they're going to do to you. Some of you need to tell your kids that you're proud of them. For some of you, you might be working really hard. And I hear that a lot of you guys are actually just trying to fucking process this breakup. For some of you guys are going through a lot right now. You're going to face whole separation. And it's a lot. You're just taking it the best that you can. It's going to be up to you if you feel like fucking decorating or not. Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't. I didn't decorate for a while. I used to decorate all the time. I stopped. Stopped when Martin died, pretty much. I'd already done it though for many years myself. I was a big decorator. I always spent a bunch of money on it. I was wanting to buy the giant, you know what I mean? One of those houses like the nerds, you know, the big old freaking giant ones on the I told myself you could buy one a year, and every year, by the time you know it, you're going to end up fucking having all these giant ones. But I never got around to it. It was fun. But this year, I actually do feel like decorating. And again, these ones look like they might all be broken. That's just one. That's okay. These, even if they're broken, that's gonna be shit. There's a lot of pros no matter what you do every single day. And even if something doesn't work, you gotta look at it like this. You're getting rid of some stuff in your house. You literally, we've been learning about energy carrying or objects carrying energy. So you get rid of an object that has a lot of energy. You got to think how many people have literally been in your house since you've had that object, like this plant. Hundreds and thousands of people have actually touched, like walked by this plant, and anybody that walks by your walls, and touches them, that's why you really want to make sure that you sanitize and that you're washing things and you're cleaning everything up. You don't have to keep a bunch of fucking crap all over your house as far as ornaments go either. I used to always have a bunch of shit all over my fucking tabletops. James used to get pissed at me and he'd say, "Can you stop fucking hanging up random shit on the wall, Tara?" Basically, it didn't matter. I'd hang up a fucking grocery outlet fucking sign, they're paper big. Like tacking everything, taping everything. He was like, "Dude, stop fucking doing that." He was like, "I don't like it. It looks trashy," basically, with respect. And you might just, be going through those phases yourself. We're figuring out how to actually decorate differently, keep your house differently. What items can you get rid of? Why do you keep the items that you do? What is it that you love about it? Does anybody even really know why they fucking have so much stuff? Hoarding, for one, is but however many things you guys have in your guys' house, it represents kind of how many emotions are kind of like bottled up inside of your body. Hoarding is actually a definite sign of depression and non-forward movement. So anybody that you see with a lot of shit just laying around, it's just their coping mechanism. Everybody has a coping mechanism. A lot of people think that addiction means that you have to be on a drug. No, it does not. I don't gamble personally, and I would not rather gamble than party it up personally. I think all addictions are they can be equally hard, for anybody, depending on whatever it is that your thing is. There's porno addictions, there's shopping addictions, there's all these kind of addictions. I mean, shit, people are pathological liars. So it's not really, everybody just needs to get to a point in their life where they just start seeing people for like what they are at this time in their life. It makes things easier. Don't look at it like, oh, that's who you are. You're a piece of shit. Who are you to say that's who the fuck they are and they're a piece of shit? How the fuck would you know? Look, later on down the road, you might mature a little bit, or you might fucking go through an experience, and you might end up walking the same damn shoes that this person did that you judged. You might think differently. Just be open-minded to those things, Stop looking at everybody like, oh, this and that, and blah, 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 because there's just really no point in doing all that. It's negative. It's negative for you. It's negative for them. And it's not your business. Would you say that to God, to his face? You know what I mean? Probably not. I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't tell God straight to his face the fucking the person that he created was a piece of shit. And that was flawed and malfunctioned, and that it was sucked, and fucking he made a big fat mistake on something that he literally supposedly created. So just ask yourself in all that you say and all that you do and all that you listen to from anybody that's talking to you, would they say those things in front of God? And if they wouldn't, say it exactly like they just told you or you just told them, then you know that particular conversation still needs time to develop, appropriately. Don't worry too much about what anybody's really saying. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what anybody says. Unfortunately, you are going to have to worry about what a lot of people say in the workplace. Sometimes you do have to worry about what some people say, when it comes to your custody battles. But for the most part, there's a lot that you guys worry about that you don't have to worry about, like what your partner says, what your family says, what your friends say, what society says, what anybody says or things. None of that matters. Anybody that honestly would judge you and say anything that would actually hurt your feelings or that you would be fearful about, doesn't seem like they might be a very good friend. Seems like if they're going to put fear into you and they're going to make you walk on eggshells and wonder if you're good enough to be around them every day, you might want to take a look at that. I do feel like decorating though, finally. My Martin died in 2016. And I don't really know of a year, honestly, I did a couple times. I decorated a couple times. So some of you guys may or may not, again, feel like decorating yourselves. If you don't feel like decorating, so what? If you do, then do it. But what I want to tell you is that For those of you who feel like decorating, make sure that you are cleaning your house. Takes like at least 2 full loads of shit to Goodwill. I'm always getting rid of shit. I just love getting rid of shit. I can't stop now. I'm addicted to it. I used to keep my shit, like I said, really full, everything everywhere. And I had to, like, I'm really big on breaking behaviors down. So I was like, why the fuck do you do that? Why the fuck you always rearranging? Why you always changing your clothes? And why the fuck do you always have to have stuff constantly, like, everywhere? Everywhere. I'm talking everywhere. Full blown collages all over the wall. And like every piece of furniture was covered in some stupid ornament. And it was a joke. What the fuck did I need all that shit for? You know what I mean? So I could dust it every day? The fuck? Not to mention, I had no idea that objects carried energy. So I realized why I was doing it, for one. I was doing it because when I was living at my mom's house, I couldn't leave the farm. And so my way of actually making myself feel like I was in a different place would be to rearrange and redecorate my room. So some of you guys just need to spend a little bit of time doing that and breaking things down and figuring out what is the actual reason for why you do something instead of just looking at it like, oh, this is just who I am, that's what I do, and that's what I do, period. You know, well, no, that's what you do today. Because anybody can make or break any habit within a 2 month period. So if you actually, if somebody who believes that that's who you are and that's what you do, you're very narrow minded. Nobody stays the same. No two people work out the issues same either. Everybody's going to be different. Um, that's why when there's an issue that goes on, always, you know, usually at work or anywhere else, I always say, if somebody's like, you know what, let me try. I'll go talk to them or whatever. And me, you know, in my younger, more or less like immature years, I might have got a little bit annoyed. So then you think, okay, you just felt that feeling of annoyed. You gotta really stop at every fucking feeling that you guys start to feel, and you gotta stop and pause. Notice the feelings that you feel with every little fucking moment that you proceed in all things that you do at this time. This is your time to actually get to know yourself, your behaviors, your thinking, your feeling, and you're gonna have to actually break everything fucking down because that is how you solve this mystery. Some of you guys get into the last point of this chapter, and it's sorting everything out. And basically, it's like all of your life is coming to you in a pillowcase, and it's all ripped up pieces of paper, and now you have to put all those pieces of paper back together and find all the way that the letter goes. That's what it's like because you do know those pieces in that bag. You've just pushed them down, not realizing, you know, how powerful you really were, but how weak that really is to do because it gets us nowhere. A lot of us, we are told, you know, to basically just, we got to work our asses off and that there's nothing we can do about problems and that's the way things are and that's the way people are and they fucked us over, you know, depending on your mindset, you can get stuck for a real long time somewhere. Luckily, I've always just been a big tree bird. Something that I don't do very well is follow rules or listen. So we all have our things that we don't do very well. Maybe you love to listen. Maybe you're a great listener. I just fucking do what I want. And I've been said to do that since I was really, really born. So there's all things that we're all working on. Hey, I want to let you know I did confirm this information. Um, Anybody who works at Starbucks, even part-time or full-time, they literally pay for your fucking college tuition, you guys. You need to get your fucking kids into Starbucks right now. The only other place I've ever heard of that working was at Gonzaga. And that's if you're a teacher there, your kids get to go in for free. So I did confirm it. I looked it up on the internet and it is fucking true. No shit. What the fuck? Why the fuck were we not Starbucks baristas, dude? Yeah, no shit, dude. Get your fucking kid into motherfucking Starbucks, bro. I'm sure that there's a time that you have to work there for, but it's not really going to matter because I've never seen anybody that came out of Starbucks acting like a bitch, really. They're all really well behaved. They dress really well. And you cannot beat that right there. So that's a great thing to know. I wrote one more little thing down. Forgot what it is. Oh well. Right now's the time for you to look good for you too. You guys, obviously, I'm gonna go outside and doink around, but I'm not sure if I want to build a bonfire or not yet. But I still am sitting here doing my nails. I like to do both, but I'd rather build a bonfire if I had to choose. But I'm doing my nails because I obviously blog and I work on people's bodies with my hands. So it's probably best that I have nice manicured nails. I've noticed guys really care for that too. They're really big on like your feet and hands and shit. So I'm just like, whatever. I'm a country girl. I grew up on a farm and I just run around barefoot and do whatever the fuck I want. And but slingshotting people in the forehead with ice cubes. But I'll act right. I'm like trying to learn how to act right. So some of you guys need to just do that too. You might find that you enjoy it. And actually, doing nails, actually, I can manage to stay concentrated and actually focus on it. The only other thing I've ever found to do that to me is hair cutting and the guitar. The sound of the guitar is so beautiful. So you guys might be very picky like me, and you may need to learn how to just like you're gonna have to change your habits that you've created for yourself. Life is different for you right now. Things are just very different for a lot of you guys right now with you being newly single, and you gotta really watch your depression and shit. And it's easy to go up and down in emotions, and that's especially right now during the holidays. I get it. I'm not going to my family's this year, and it's just because I know literally fucking I'm done being disrespected by everyone. They have their own opinions about whatever the fuck, and they're totally like welcome to it. But, something that I just noticed honestly is just year after year after year, bro, same shit, different story. So honestly, the losses that were taken, yeah, it sucks that they never really, honestly, at the end of the day, what figured it out, came through on their end, because that's not even our problem, bro. We did all the shit they said to do, hella times. That's all we ever fucking did was run around for these bitches. And they never did any of their shit. And you know what? We're sitting here sad because what? We wanted them to be there with us. That's about it. I mean, think about it, dude. When I had to leave Zeke for real, I was trying to fight for him and Brooke to get out of the house. I was pissed. She was in here sleeping on my fucking pillow, talking about fucking it being her place and shit. Okay, shut the fuck up, loser. And it was hard. One time I thought about stinging myself with the jellyfish, just putting myself completely out of my misery. You know, my son, he just wanted to laugh his balls off at me and tell me I wouldn't have died. Somebody would just have to piss on me. I thought for sure it was going to work, but I didn't. I was like, you know what? You're going to live through this and you're going to be just fine, bitch. And I was, because you know what? I thought about it one day and I thought, do you want to be with him forever? No. Were you guys happy together? No. Did you make the best love ever in the whole wide world? No. Well, then what the fuck are you literally mad about, dude? It was like I didn't have control over him, really. Because it wouldn't have been really us. Because I didn't even want an us. If I didn't want to be with him forever and ever and we weren't really happy, then what was I mad about? Not being able to make him do what the fuck I told him to do. That's not a good reason. I wasn't worried about them having a happily ever after. You can't do that. You can't cheat on somebody and then live happily ever after. I had to block his mother too. She's been watching my fucking shit, and I'm not gonna have that shit. I don't even know if she can handle the truth. I haven't told her any of that shit. And I'm not trying to just have their family, watching any of the shit I say, so I don't really care. If I block you, just know that there's a reason for that. Um, it's always usually because maybe somebody will fucking, I have to blog about at this time. And from my experience with him in particular, dude, he's very unique when it comes to accountability, and it just becomes like a pretty much like a childlike argument. And then he like threatens with random things all the time. So I actually had to block him personally several months ago. And at first I was letting his mom be on there, but then I was like, honestly, uh, I don't know, it was just kind of weird. You know what sucks too? She was my favorite mom-in-law. Oh well, at this time I don't really have a lot of things that are very positive to say. So some of you guys are going through that phase as well. Maybe at first you were like, "Oh, I'm so sad that we're not together anymore." Wah, wah, wah. But that's exactly how the process goes. Is at first you're sad, and at first you try to stop it. At first you freak out, and at first you cry. You're devastated, but then you do think to yourself, man, you start seeing these person's true colors. For some of you guys, you've seen already this person dating other people, rubbing it in your face. You might have fucking already had to deal with this person taking the kids away, threatening you, taking everything that you guys worked very hard for together, being selfish, greedy, liar. Some of you found out this person was cheating, like I said, from the get go, dude, and they thought, oh, whoa, 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 like they were talking shit to you about it. Who gives a fuck, bro? You think that cheating ever is going to work out? Yeah, right, bro. It's not pure. All you did was fucking piss me off. You know what I mean? You never really had to worry about explaining that shit. You don't fucking explain yourself to bitches like that. That bitch, what's fucking stupid about these people is they think that because you didn't actually say something in response to them, that they were winning every time that they spoke the last word. So, oh well, let them do whatever the fuck it is that they do in their brain. Nobody cares. You're not even ever and never have been on the same page as this person. Every time you ever had a dream or a goal, this person didn't even fucking. They weren't there with you, right? Like you had to keep explaining to this type of person's, what you were talking about. Those are annoying ass people. Who the fuck hangs out with that? No, bro, especially dates it. So, you know what? You're just starting to see, honestly, like, you know what? This isn't so bad. The real reason that I was tripping out realistically was because I didn't have control over this person anymore. And you're like, I can, maybe that is why for some of you guys. That's why I did. And I didn't actually want it anymore. So if you do want it, then you can always look at that from a different point of view and say, okay, um, were you happy with this person? Yes. So then I would think to myself, if I was already happy and I really wanted to be in love again, I would think, when did your guys' happiness change? For me, I think it was right off top. It was always the shit show. Um, and it was from the very first month we ever dated. He was already being physical. Um, so I don't know where you guys stand, but if there was an event that occurred, you'll have to go back to that event. You're gonna have to actually break it down and look at. I just look at these things whenever I'm breaking events down. I think, did I do anything that I shouldn't have been doing? Was I somewhere that I shouldn't have been? And was I under the influence of anything when I did it? So if I can answer and I'm in the clear to those questions, then I think it was probably just a lot of it was like meant to be. Sometimes we do have to go through experiences because they're lessons. And instead of just being sad and crappy, minded about it, you're just going to have to be open minded about it, or you won't be able to move forward from the lesson. Nothing that we go through are we supposed to stay mad about. Some things you will continue to feel like you're venting over and over about. And it sucks because you want to feel better and you want to stop bitching about it, but you haven't yet. So, you know, some things do take a little bit longer than other things, but this last few months, we have 2 more months before the chapter ends on this year. Some of you, we really have what? So, yeah, we have about 2 months, dude. It's crazy. This year has flown by, and it has been a unique year, I think, for a lot of us. Last year was very, I don't even know how to explain it. Um, I've never had a year like the last year. I don't really know. Last year was kind of hard for me, I'm not gonna lie. I lost my dad last year, but even before I lost him, I was still real sad. I've been thinking really hard for a while, like what was making me feel like that, and I really don't know. And, you know, the only thing that I've really came to make sense is that maybe it was just full blown actual, like, legit depression. Sometimes you just feel icky, man, and you don't know why. And I had a few students and a couple coworkers that were struggling with depression, and they were telling me that that's how they felt. They were telling me that they felt like they couldn't get out of bed, and that they would call me in the morning and they would say they weren't coming to work because they couldn't get out of bed. And, you know, there's a first time for everything. And I had heard it for the first time, you know, a few years back. And so when I heard it again last year from another employee of mine, I knew that she was not kidding. But I actually was still like, well, you know, let's see what we can figure out and da 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 da. So, I don't know. I learned that they're not kidding around. I got to feel it for myself. And you just got to watch that. I had a client in my chair the other day, and she was just a high school kid, and she was saying that her teachers are always telling her, get out of bed and come to school even if you don't feel like good about coming. I knew within seconds what she was explaining feeling. She was going through depression, the one of the worst cases I've ever seen. She was very young too, but she was very smart. And so I gave her my card, just told her that she's a villain blood now and she could always come to our channel, and that we understood. And just I just told her to, you know, keep up the great work. And don't let her anxiety stop her from living a life that she deserves to live. She doesn't like to go in public at all. She doesn't like to be around people at all. It just really makes her feel anxious. And she's very wise. She's not stupid in any way. So you know, you guys are a lot like that girl too. And that's what I'm saying is like you guys got to start overpowering your emotions. It says never let your emotions overpower your intelligence. There's a time for us to be emotional and to allow emotion into situations for really the good of healing another person, or just, you know, understanding another person, or helping another person understand. But when it comes to actually sticking up for what's right and fighting for what you believe in, you got to have more of a firm masculine energy. And right now, some of you guys are actually exiting out of a chapter that people are going to try to stop you from leaving. This is their last fucking chance, dude, to take you out. So you can just picture arrows being shot as you make your way across these last final fucking places. Whenever you think that fucking you can relax, these bitches you already know every time have always been coming for you. They're going to definitely be coming for you right now. Nothing that you're going to do in this next chapter is going to benefit them. And some of you guys have made that very clear. So they've already been thinking about how to take you out. You just don't know about it yet. These people, they're finding out that you understand what they are thinking. They know that you know what they're thinking. They're seeing that based off of your reactions, they can't do their usual things to you. And so they're trying different stuff. You don't need to worry. Just fucking literally, you know what to do. You need to make sure that your stuff is sanitized. You have the most minimum amount. Make sure that your bills are up to date. Don't put yourself into a situation of procrastinating paying any of your basic bills. You don't want to be any stressed out more than you already are. Because there's gonna be a few tests that are gonna come also in this chapter, and it's gonna cost us some money for some of you. What do you see, Dickweed? Some of you guys might have some repairs that come up to be honest, and they're gonna actually cost you a chunky amount of money. So you just don't need to be stressing yourself out any more than you're already gonna be. If anybody's doing some dumbass shit, honestly, just deal with it the best that you can. I had to do some meetings with the school this morning because my daughters are fucking decided to fucking literally disappoint me greatly with her behavior in the last 40 days, maybe 30 days or so. It's been about 30 days. Um, and she's just taken on a new friends group, and the principal is straight up saying that she hangs out with a bunch of low vibrational needy people. And we've all been there before. Some of you guys might be hanging out with groups of people that honestly don't stimulate you in any way, and they have nothing going on for them. It's because we call ourselves the coolest loser without knowing it at those times. Bro, you're gonna fuck my nails up, you little Judas. What the fuck are you laughing at? What do you say, dickweed? I'm just making sure it ain't the police, man. She's gonna be looking out here like SWAT's fucking surrounded the damn place. I'm always looking for the police. I don't trust nobody. Alright, so you penis agree being on my nails. What? Just sit the fuck down, dude. Maybe they're just eating for Thanksgiving, bro. Yeah, fuck those bitches, dude. Honestly, tis the season right now. For those people in your life who honestly have not really appreciated you and have wanted to disrespect you, that's up to you. If you want to actually choose to fucking spend your money on them and shit. I've been thinking for the last few years I was tired of the way Christmases went personally. I don't feel very good when I go shopping for anybody. I get anxiety. I don't like to be there. I don't even want to be there. We have people in our family that steal other people's money, so I can't send cash. We have people that they hermit and they won't do anything fun, so I can't book a trip. Everybody's picky, so apparently they won't like anything that I pick. So it's just like a shit show for me. And in my opinion, it's not even supposed to be about them. It's supposed to be about Jesus. So um, I just feel like if you are somebody who's dealing with people, honestly, who are no fun to shop for and are ungrateful, like last year, my mom sold the entire bed set. I know I've bitched about this a few times, but she sold the whole bed set that I bought her. I got her a brand new fucking bed frame, a blanket, a rug, a keyboard, a desk chair, and a shower head. She sold everything except for the desk chair and the shower head. And I used a whole fucking paycheck to buy her that shit, dude. Like I work at a salon, bro. So yeah, I got paid. I literally ordered that stuff. I tried to make it feel special. Some of you guys might do that for somebody also. And then they're just a money hungry person. And so I'm not personally showing up for the holidays this year, and I don't really care. Obviously, fucking Thanksgiving's in a couple days. I bought my own food here. It's not going to be a problem whatsoever to cook my own food. Today's my sister's birthday. I did call her. She did not answer. Oh well, what can you do? You know what I mean? Yeah, well, you know, I'm not gonna say here if I give two flying fucks. You know what's funny about those type of people is that they think that you should kiss their damn ass. You should do whatever the fuck they told you to do, and then they'll talk to you again. I don't want to do what the fuck you tell me to do. I don't want to do anything that none of y'all do. That's a fact. And actually, another fact would be that maybe some of y'all feel like literally not only is the direction of life that they live not somewhere you want to head, but they don't even do better than you, and they're telling you what to do. That could be some of your guys' case. I would definitely take a big look at whoever the fuck's bossing you around and ask yourself, like, is their life better than mine? Because if it's not, I don't know why the fuck you're looking down to be led. How the fuck you gonna fucking follow the leader when fucking you don't even want to go where they go, bro? That's what they don't get. You're like, I don't want to go where you're going. You're like, I don't even appreciate your idea. You've been honestly very overwhelming to work with. I thought you were different when we started to get together. Just honestly, you changed. I feel like you have been very controlling and overwhelming, and I haven't really been able to live my life since I've met you. Some of you guys have had somebody consume your mind since you've met them. And you need, this is your time where this is that thing for you that you're taking your power back from. It takes a long time. Everybody's different every time. Every relationship's different. With Zeke, I feel like Martin died right when I left Zeke to deal. I just don't deal well with things around other people, and I don't want hugs and I don't want attention. I just need to be alone. So I took off to Alaska personally, and I already wanted to leave Zeke. That's why I had the job in the first place. So I just left. So I don't know. I never really like cried about it. I don't cry about some things. Like my dad and my baby daddy and Zeke were different because my dad and my baby daddy overdosed, and so whenever you use many types of drugs or alcohol together, that it can be fatal. And so I've always known that. I've always at least tried to be pretty aware of like what not to mix together, and they were fucking around with shit that you mix together, you'll die. They were mixing the uppers and the downers together, so I already knew it was always like a 50-50 chance on whether or not they would live. And I also know that however much time you spend around somebody when they die is how like deeply it will affect you. Like when my dad died, he was spending the most time with my little brother, and when Martin died, I was his manager at the school, so I was very close to him, and it hurt me very badly. I imagine my brother probably feels very similar to how I felt when Martin died, but for me it was different. I still am sad for my dad because I love him very much, but uh, I don't know. With James, I didn't really cry a whole. I cried a little bit, but I wasn't like super like I wasn't with him when he died. And my dad, I had seen him around October of last. Yeah, seen him around October of last year. I didn't see him for Thanksgiving. I didn't go because every time I was going over there, there was a whole fucking house full of fucking weirdos. And my dad was down to like, it looked like 90 pounds with respect. And it was not his normal size ever. I'd never seen him like that. I knew that he had relapsed, but I had never seen him literally look like that. So I was like, maybe he's just getting old. I knew that he had a lot of surgery. So I was like, maybe he's just getting old. And that's just like his new relapse look. I didn't fucking know. No, he was on fentanyl. I didn't know that shit. I've never used it, so I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at, bro. But I didn't. I chose not to go down there on Thanksgiving. I did go down to my mom's, but I did not stop at my dad's. So same with James. He wanted to actually have a visit with Halo right before he passed, and he no showed and tried to reschedule, and I did not. Sometimes you don't know why. You don't maybe see somebody. Some of you guys maybe lost somebody to death, but you don't need to be too hard on yourself. You couldn't have been anywhere doing anything better. You have nothing to do with why this person was doing what they were doing. The only thing we got to worry about is like, how can we avoid getting ourselves into situations like this again in the future is what I'm more concerned about. I don't want to deal with somebody that fucking, I didn't, shit, dude. I didn't know what the fuck people were talking about. I've been around a few people talking about the fentanyl. But I think they were calling it blue pills. Even when I went to the doctor a couple times to say, oh, are you here for the blue pills or whatever? I'm like, no. I've had even clients at the salon ask me if I did the blue pills. A few people said something about the blue pills. I was like, no, because I don't really take pills. Um, well, what do you know? That's what they are, huh? I didn't actually know until one of my friends actually dropped some. I realized what the fuck I was dealing with in that moment. Normally, I would have just fucking flushed them, but I didn't. I know I've seen a lot of these people get pretty crazy. To be honest, on that shit right there, they look like demonic in their eyes. So I actually just fucking told the person they dropped it because I didn't want them to fucking literally like start wanting whatever the fuck, you know what I mean, wanting to do it, and then they start ravishing through their shit, looking for the bag or whatever. I didn't want to be in a situation I have to like see them again, and like obviously they would have been returning to my damn place. And I don't like the way they look in their eyes when they're on it. I didn't know what the fuck people were on it. You guys need to be careful. Uh, there's been a lot of crazy shit going on, dude. That shit is different. I know that everything's bad. Mm. Um, but that shit's legit different. I've never seen anybody like look like that, dude. They look literally demonic in the eyes. Every person that I know that's been touching that shit, dude, they're either dead already or they're like homeless already, living in a vehicle, if that. And they are just, everybody's, very aware of what the fuck's going on for them. It's crazy. It's just, that's why you gotta watch the downers, if you can not do them, try to avoid it, guys. They're the most powerful of everything. So when you fuck around with shit that's stronger, you can't use something weaker. It's not going to be. It's like if you fucking literally took a warm bath instead of a hot one. When your body has tried something stronger, your brain will become more and more addicted to that strongerness. That's the problem. It's not saying like I'm not saying that heroin or downer people, they're not. It's not that they're worse than anybody else. It's just very strong stuff. And the downers obviously make it to where you can't really like function. I also noticed my dad's welding work. It was looking like poop, bro. It was really weird shit. He would like it looked like fucking the Ron's house from Harry Potter, dude, all crooked and weird. My dad is a very good welder, and he was like wearing the Donald Trump mask. Yeah, he had a Donald Trump mask on, the last picture that he sent me. And he was like trying to build some kind of fucking chimney, which was coming out the roof of actual, like a legit shop. So he was just like welding holes and doing weird shit. And it was very unusual behavior for him. Um, this stuff actually just really seems like it really messes everybody up. So just be careful with that stuff, you guys. If you do have to have like surgeries or anything like that, just try to maybe just avoid taking it if you can. It's not worth it. I've seen a lot of my friends, they get on it when they start getting surgeries and then they need medicines. That's what happened to my dad too. Sometimes people get on it because they can't use while they're on probation and shit, and so you can legally use a medication. But you gotta be careful with that. And if you guys see anybody in their medicine, with respect to sex to say this, but if you see anybody's medicine laying around their house, try to research it, see what it is, because I did not know what a few different mental health fucking meds were. Like borderline personality disorder is one of them that really just is very interesting to me now that I know what it is, because borderline personality disorder is not mean that you have multiple personalities. It means that if you fake who you are around everybody that you go in front of, and you forgot who the fuck you really were over time. That's a way big difference than you thinking that you're multiple personality disorder because you're so much that somebody that would like I could be pretty much like labeled as multi-personality disorder, with all the goofy things I say, or this terror, that terror, this terror, that terror. And so, just knowing exactly what it is that you're looking at when it comes to whoever is. So,
Did you make that list?
no, I was finishing my nails. I was trying to see if the Christmas lights work, and that whole pile over there I think is dead. But I can tell you that I need the garbage that's outside taken to the brown garden, and you can bring those two and roll them back in. Everything that's out there can go to the garbage. And we're gonna have to do the floor. we have to start baking and stuff. You can do the brownies if you want, and I can do the girl jogger shit. I don't really want to bake.
Why do we need a bake?
We need brownies done, and then I got chocolate chip, or I got chocolate cake. So we're gonna do those in cupcakes. Then you can put them in the little red or white containers. They're in the bottom shelf to the left of the oven.
Why are we baking?
Because we have Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday. So
Do that tomorrow then. So they're not 2 days crusty.
Hmm.
I'll do it tomorrow then, so they're not like 2 days just sitting in the oven.
okay. Then I need the garbage done, and I need the floors swept and mopped and the cupboards with the dishes. Those need to be organized and cleaned. I started to take the drawers out and clean them earlier. The kitchen is where we're going to be. Probably maybe. Oh, I also need to put all that crap that's over by the door at the end of the shop. Like the bags of clothes, they need to go in the car so we can take them to Goodwill. She loves it when I tell her to do something. Sorry, I like always have to make like a ginormous like mess and like I have to kick things and fucking slam things. I'm crazy with everything. Yeah, and if you're dealing with people honestly that are taking advantage of you, you're gonna have to cut them off and stand your ground. And it's gonna be hard at first, but I mean in all reality, they don't fucking deserve what they're asking for. Spend your money on you this year. Book yourself a nice trip. A massage. People aren't gonna see what the fuck you ever did for them or why they should ever miss you if you're not ever gone. Right now, you want people to appreciate you, but you're always just giving and giving and giving to people that don't appreciate you. Maybe they've never experienced what it would be like for you not to give to them. Again, watch out for a fire sign. They're always up to something. Like I said, these people. They're going to be starting to act up because You're on your way out the door, and that's all. This is their last moment, to grab you. Some of you guys have made yourself very clear on what you think about these people for once. Maybe they've even, for some of you, reconnected with you recently and tried to reach back out, just like with what James was doing, right before, we called it goodbye for good. And you're just like, after all those years, that's all you ever wanted all those years before. But the person that you've become now, you don't think like in lack. You don't need a person in your life. And you most certainly aren't going to allow somebody in your life to disrespect you, to come and go whenever they please, and to distract you. And you realize like what this person has been doing to you and how you've allowed it and how you've held yourself back for somebody that at the end of the day they just never really cared about the same things you cared about. We don't need to sit there and say, oh, they don't care about you because we don't know that. Maybe they do. Maybe that's how they care about people. Who knows? But that's not how you care about people. Depression. Be assertive. Some of you guys still are in the house with this person. That's got to be hard. Being in a house with a fire sign and having depression. They are very dominant people. Um, they're very, 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 very dominant people. They do not back down. And I don't have any problems with fire signs. They're just very headstrong. I don't hear her cleaning at all. She's been pissing me off. Oh well. Like I told her, I'm just gonna write a list and then I'll bring it up to you when I get it done. There's some things I need completed. For now on, I'm not gonna sit there and tell anybody what I want done. I'm just gonna take note of what they're doing and the disrespectful things that they choose to do. That's their choice. People are gonna do disrespectful things, but you know that's normal. People live life and make mistakes and disrespect people. When you have something that other people might need or want, or when they're in front of your face, you could be the person that they take it from. You got to remember when you were little too, you stole, you needed things too, and so some of you guys are just in that part of your life where you're gonna actually be the one who teaches, this person lessons, or you can be just like throwing a fit and forgetting that you ever fucking wearing the same shoes one time. Some of you guys could have had somebody steal something from you and you're pissed off about it. But I do feel like the energy is just telling you like to remember that time when you needed something too. Also, like I'm gonna tell you right now, some of these kids, they don't have anything to eat already when they go home from school. And there's tons of them that actually shoplift right now from elementary school and middle school just to make sure that they have food in their bag when they get home to these parents that are on fentanyl. So if you are a child who is shoplifting for food and your parents are up all night long fighting, going to school and getting good grades is just talk. I realize that because I've been witnessing it. My kid has friends, that struggle with that shit at home. And the things that she tells me that their parents do when they're wigging out is pretty intense. And there would be no way for this child to be able to actually go to school and be able to concentrate ever. Not to mention what probably goes on in the home that is completely inappropriate and even maybe to this child. So the reality of it that I realized is not only do we maybe not always have the people surrounding us that we need to change, but some people only know what they're doing. They've never actually lived a life where they weren't doing it. You know, they would have never not been a shoplifter. So when you're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You need to act right. What is act right to them? They never had no money. They never had groceries. Their parents never cared. So that's the reality of it. In this world, I imagine the kids that probably are going to come up under the fentanyl parents are going to, I have no idea what to expect, but what I can tell you is that these pills and all these crisscrossing things that people are doing are actually causing them to have major like blackouts and rage episodes, and they're just taking each other out and doing a lot of weird things. So I would definitely keep your houses locked up and just kind of be more aware of your surroundings than usual. When it comes to the pills, they actually block parts of your brain out, and so they will make your brain actually not have any remorse or feel anything bad about anything that it does when it does it. You will basically, if you even do, wake up and you will not know what the fuck you did. You'll be like Drew Barrymore in Gothica, where she kills her husband. So, do just keep that in mind. People are already twitching out and acting like weirdos down there on the streets. So don't be letting your kids walk around and do anything. And when they want to be doing stupid shit, you're gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I'll show you because we're gonna do this together. I've never actually had to come down on my kid, not this one. This will be my first year actually just saying, nope, we're not doing this shit. The school called me and said she has been sitting in the bathroom with these friends, and she keeps making friends. She keeps skipping class, and they keep catching her. And you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful that they call me, and I'm grateful to have had the meeting that I did with them this morning. I think it went well. I was worried about it, honestly. I had to be honest because I was getting a lot of calls, and it was like 2 or 3 a week saying supposedly she wasn't in some classes. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I am." And honestly, no, I didn't buy it. Um, I didn't buy it. And so I was even telling her last week, dude, we're going to have to go down there then and just see what they're saying, why they would be saying this. And sure enough, dude, what do I get? A freaking call from the principal yesterday, dude, saying that fucking she was caught again skipping right after we talked about it, dude. So, and then today she's literally in there just watching TV. Fuck, apparently she doesn't look at the clock when her fucking bus apparently comes. So, you know what? I just called the school and said that we're going over everything that we talked about yesterday together, and did not lie for her. I did my best to be as honest as I could and say that she had some dentist appointments here and dentist appointments there. But basically, the teacher just said that, you know what, Halo's always been a straight A student, and in the last 30 days, she has been hanging out with people that she shouldn't be hanging out with. And basically, they were nice and they said they're going to fucking move forward from this and we'll kind of start fresh. They did not kick her off the volleyball team. She's lucky for that. I'm not sure if I'm going to let her play or not, to be honest. I don't feel like she should, not with skipping. And it's been a lot of times. It's been a lot of times, dude. It's actually really an embarrassing amount of times. I haven't even finished checking all my emails, and this is not the type of behavior that I would actually accept. This is beyond just getting in trouble and doing what I say. This is about work ethic in the future. So if you guys have children that are not showing interest in whatever they're doing, then see what other options are out there. In big cities, it is hard to get yourself on a wait list and get the kids into a school that is actually good for them. It's very hard to find even a good school. Um, so just be patient. See if your kid is interested in any other types of hobbies or if they're just pessimistic in general. I'm sure many of us are dealing with kids that are teens for the first time ever, and it sucks for a lot of us. Um, so just be patient with yourself and just know that you're doing all the right things. Some of you guys could be missing the person that you maybe had kids with at this time just because of the stress that these kids are putting you under rather than you even missing this person for real. So that's why it is important. We talked about this in one of our last reads about you guys not being all controlling about the parenting plan. Don't try to keep the kids from one another um, because there will be many weekends when you're going to be so fucking happy it's not your damn weekend. And at first it might suck, and it's going to suck, if they get a new boyfriend or girlfriend and you have to think, oh my gosh, are my kids going to like this person? You shouldn't be worried about that. You shouldn't be worried about that. If you're worried about your kids liking whoever your partner's with, then that seems pretty negative, don't you think? Wouldn't you want them to like them? That's where they're gonna go on a visit. Why would you want them not to like your partner's fucking girlfriend or boyfriend? Why would you put that kind of stuff into their brain? Why would you think it? They see you don't want them to because you still what? You got feelings for your partner? Has to be. If you're thinking negative shit about your partner, you got feelings for the whole matter still, bro. So that's kind of on you. If you got feelings, you don't even at this point maybe seem like you know what the fuck's going on with your feelings. You just like keep saying all the shit that's negative about your partner. Maybe for some of you, you guys broke up with your partner and you say negative things. It's not cute. So just stop doing it and just move forward with your life because it only just makes you look like you literally are still stuck on this person. It doesn't make anybody that's listening to you think anything bad about this person anymore because you wouldn't even know. Some people are just thinking, how would you even know what's going on with this person because you're not even around them? It's been a long time. So it just makes you look stuck on them. Just move forward with your life. Not even your person would miss you if you're still stuck on them because they weren't even with you in the first place because of how you feel right now. So if you even want to be missed by anybody, you have to be happy and good looking. You can't be miserable. Nobody misses a miserable person. Some of you try to re-engage with old people that you dated because you miss them, but you start fighting every time you see each other. And then nobody wants to get back around each other and see each other again. That's why you guys actually haven't seen each other again, is because every time you do, this person thinks you guys fight every time. And they don't like it. You call it talking things over, but they don't feel like you're very positive when you do it. Some of you guys have been speaking in this way for a very long time. This is how you've always talked to them. So you're not really this might be the first time that you're actually comprehending what the fuck is being said. You're realizing maybe you have actually approached all of the problems every time the same way with the same tone of voice, the same, and that's where you need to go into your inbox messages. I say this when it comes to people hitting on each other. Just go and look at your inbox messages where you hit on somebody and see if you're using the same line more than once and how many people are actually responding with that line. If people do not respond with that line, you need to put it in the do not use part of your book. You can't just keep going back in over and over and over and just keep using the same line over and over and over. So that's what you guys are going to do is I want you to go through all of your messages and actually see what kind of statements are you saying in your guys' speaking. Is it sounds like anything that you have that sounds the same? If you didn't get the kind of response that you're hoping to get out of it back, get a little notebook and start writing down, those little lines. And then whenever you go to speak again, try different ones. Google helps me to speak when I don't know what to say properly. Anytime I don't know what to say, I do try to remember to Google it. There is policy and procedure always available online. And so that actually helps me a lot because I don't want to go and break the law for anything. Everything has a lot of laws and rules and regulations and blah, blah. It's very important that we just know if we're going to actually run into a situation of that sort. Um, if you just want to know how to always just speak like a professional and never lose your case when it comes to speaking to anybody in the workplace or in the courtroom, just Google, say, hey, I'm going to school to be a lawyer. What is the proper way to, talk to my client in this matter? It'll tell you how your lawyer will talk. It'll tell you how you should talk. It'll tell you the different ways that your client might talk. It's going to tell you every fucking option for talking. And you're going to just feel it out. You're going to read it. You're just going to be like, yeah, I like that. I don't like that. It's going to tell you if you talk like this in a situation like this, you will lose. You will win. It's going to literally guide you through it. And that's the best thing that you can do at this time because right now, everybody in your life, as far as a mentor goes, is not smarter than you. And they actually don't care that much about what you got going on right now. I'm not saying that they don't love you as a person. I just don't think they're just very interested. Some of them have other ideas as well. And so you're somebody who might just feel like, no, that's not what I want to do. Some of you guys either don't want this person to be involved at all, or you still would like this other person to still be involved at all. And so we, depending on which way your family's like, oh yeah, or oh no, you're just like, I need to think by myself. Thank you for your fucking opinions. Thank you for everything you've done. I appreciate it. You're like, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like all of you guys possibly, seem like you maybe spend way more fucking time thinking about what my life looks like, who's in my life, who I'm dating, what I'm doing, da 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 da. And you are here to also be a wake up call to anybody who's telling you anything, to tell them fucking selves to fucking go get a life. You didn't ask for anyone's opinion because you fucking were being told what to do. You literally didn't even ask for a lot of opinions, and they just keep coming at you and coming at you. And you're like, I'm gonna literally just punch you in the nose, if you try it again. That's where you're like, nobody asked anybody for opinions in this group. I don't see that if you guys are still in need for opinions in the group, then you're probably just like in freshman or sophomore, level, which is fine. But I imagine that, we've got to be in about senior level for a lot of us right here. I don't know. This whole thing's, we're about to go to college, when it comes to energy here soon. We're definitely seniors, and seniors can be considered pretty much like king and queen mode for a lot of you guys. King and queen is a little bit of a tricky chapter because king and queen mode, you can get stuck being mad, like the Queen of Hearts. Or you can be beautiful like the elf from the Lord of the Rings. But energy is very contagious, and it's just like when Frodo has the ring on his chest. And that's just what a lot of things do to us. You could be anybody that you are, but you get the wrong type of people around you, or you get the wrong type of people. Some of you guys are just surrounded by the wrong people right now. You guys need to understand that the 3 to 5 people that you surround yourself with is who you become like in 2 months' time. So what have you been doing in the last 2 months? Who's been in your life? Some of you guys need to not be taking too much time off of work either. If you're young and you start saying, oh, I can't go to work because I have an injury, blah, blah, blah. I'm seeing a lot of the people saying this shit, and then they're not actually getting back to work for a long time. They're still not back to work. Green, wow. I've been doing all these weird colors I don't usually do. Hi, guys. I love you guys so much. You guys are so cute. All right. I love you, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right. I guess we're going to be here still together. All right, YouTube. I can't click the X. No, dude, watch out again for a fire sign. That's crazy. All right. Get a new haircut. Just be sexy. Be beautiful. Be amazing. And just know that at the end of the day, you're going to have to take care of shit by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. You're a boss. I love you so much.